So Darcy, maybe you could describe then what's the container or the safe space, the safe and trustworthy space that you created with intention that also held just the logistics of writing poetry prompts and the timing and everything.
Yeah, so I think that even though it was unconscious initially, when we thought about it, it actually was pretty plain. Is we went back to the touchstones developed by the Center of Courage and Renewal, and really that formed the basis of how we held that space. And so some of the touchstones would be to, show up and welcome others. It would, another one would be to observe deep confidentiality. Another one might be when things get difficult, turn to wonder. And so all of them really are help help create and hold a space that welcomes one's spirit. And as a result, that really bounded the space for us in a way that we could trust each other deeply and write whatever kind of came out of that pen. And we knew that whatever we wrote and whatever we read that day, it would be accepted, with no judgment, which is another touchstone. No fixing, no advising, just we're just acceptance and affirmation. And so the touchstones really helped shape that space for us, and that was a natural for us, having worked with Courage and Renewal touchstones in our retreats for many years.
Yeah. And I have to say, just as a shout out to how I came to the Center for Courage and Renewal was through a writing program called Women Writing for a Change that was developed by Mary Pierce Brosmer in Cincinnati. And I started that writing group. I started participating in that writing group way back in 2004. And that's where I was introduced to Let Your Life Speak by Parker Palmer. And their writing circle, their container is also based on the courage and renewal touchstones and the principles and practices of creating safe space. And so that's how I came to know everything about courage and renewal. And so when you said that you'd written a book about writing together, I was like, oh my gosh, this is finally a way that we can bring this out into um, like it's not just a retreat in a book, but it's how you can apply all of those practices to your creativity.
And
So,
of course, we write about that and list the touchstones slightly modified for writing in
mhm.
the book so that anyone that is drawn to do something like this can create that safe space for themselves. Because our thought and why we really decided to write a book was let's help people create this kind of space for themselves because that is the safe container.